If you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be? Would you tell yourself to worry less, to spend more time with the people who matter, to stop chasing things that, in the end, didn't really bring you happiness? It's funny how life works. We spend so much time focused on the little things, and then one day we look back and realize what truly mattered. But here's the good news. No matter how many years have passed, the most important life lesson isn't something you've missed. It's something you can still embrace today, right now. The truth is, life's greatest lesson is simple, yet so many of us take a lifetime to fully understand it. It's not about how much you accomplish, how much money you have, or even how many years you live. It's about how you experience the time you're given. And that experience comes down to one thing, where you choose to focus your energy. Think about it. How many moments have been stolen from you by regret, by worrying about the past or stressing over things you couldn't change? And how many times have you lost precious hours thinking about the future? What might happen? What could go wrong? What you wish would go right? But the past is unchangeable, and the future is unknown. The only thing you truly have is this moment, right here. And yet, most of us spend our days anywhere but here. We get caught up in distractions, in routines, in worries that years from now won't even matter. And that's why one of the greatest skills you can develop, one that will completely transform the way you experience life, is the ability to be fully present. Being present doesn't mean ignoring the past or never planning for the future. It means learning to anchor yourself in now, to fully engage with the people, the experiences, and the beauty that's right in front of you. Because when you do that, something incredible happens. Think about the most beautiful moments of your life. Maybe it was holding a newborn grandchild for the first time. Maybe it was a quiet evening with someone you loved, sitting side by side, saying nothing, yet feeling completely at peace. Maybe it was a day spent laughing with an old friend, or standing in a place so breathtaking that for just a moment, all your worries faded away. What do all of those moments have in common? You were there. You weren't thinking about yesterday, or worrying about tomorrow. You were completely immersed in that moment, feeling it with your whole heart. The more we learn to live that way, not just in rare, special moments, but in everyday life, the richer our experience becomes. Because life isn't something that happens someday in the future. It's happening now. So what does that look like in daily life? It's putting your phone down and really listening when someone is speaking. It's noticing the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the way your morning coffee smells. It's fully appreciating the laughter of a loved one, as if it's the first time you've ever heard it. It's slowing down just enough to see, to hear, and to feel the life that's happening all around you. And it's not just about joy, it's also about peace. When you're truly present, worry fades. Because worry lives in the future, in all the what-ifs and uncertainties. When you bring your focus back to now, you realize that in this moment, you are okay, you are breathing, you are alive. And that is enough. But there's another side to this lesson, and it's just as powerful. Have you ever noticed how much time we spend chasing things that, in the end, don't bring us the happiness we thought they would? Maybe it was a job promotion, a certain amount of money, the approval of others, or even just the idea that one day things will be different. Then you'll be happy. But the truth is, happiness isn't something waiting for you in the future. It's something you create now. And one of the most important ways to create it is by learning to let go. But before we get into this powerful life lesson, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. If this message resonates with you, hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Your support helps bring more content like this to people searching for guidance, just like you. Now, let's continue. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means freeing yourself from the weight of things that no longer serve you. Regrets, grudges, unrealistic expectations, the constant need for control. These things don't add to your life. They drain it. Think about it. How much energy have you spent replaying past mistakes in your mind? Wishing you had done things differently, said something else, made another choice? But no matter how many times you revisit the past in your thoughts, you can't change it. What you can change is how much power you allow it to have over you. Imagine carrying a heavy bag everywhere you go. At first, you barely notice it. But as time passes, it weighs you down, making every step harder. That's what happens when we hold on to things we should have released long ago. And the moment you decide to put that weight down, you feel lighter, freer, more at peace. The same thing happens with the need for control. We want certainty. We want things to go the way we expect, people to act the way we believe they should. But life doesn't work that way. No matter how much we plan, there will always be things beyond our control. And the more we try to control everything, the more exhausted we become. But here's the secret. The moment you stop trying to control every detail, the more peace you find. Because instead of fighting against life, you learn to flow with it. Instead of resisting change, you embrace it. Instead of fearing uncertainty, you trust that you will handle whatever comes your way, just like you always have. And that's another thing worth remembering. You have already overcome so much. Think about the hardest moments of your life, the things you weren't sure you'd get through. But here you are, stronger, wiser, still standing. If that isn't proof of your resilience, I don't know what is. So why do we doubt ourselves? Why do we hold on to fear when we've already proven that we can handle life's storms? Because fear is a habit. We cling to it because it feels familiar. But just like any habit, it can be unlearned. And the first step to unlearning it is trust. Trust that you don't have to have all the answers right now. Trust that you don't have to be perfect. Trust that life has a way of working itself out, even when you can't see how just yet. Now, you might be thinking, that all sounds nice, but it's easier said than done. And you're right. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen, little by little, moment by moment. Every time you choose to release a past regret instead of holding on to it, every time you allow yourself to go with the flow instead of forcing things, you take a step toward a lighter, freer life. And when you start living that way, something amazing happens. You make room for what truly matters. You start seeing beauty in the simple things. You become more present in your relationships. You find peace in places you never expected. And most importantly, you begin to realize that happiness isn't something to chase. It's something to allow. But there's still one more lesson that ties it all together. And here's the truth most people don't realize until it's almost too late. The most precious thing in life isn't money, success, or even time itself. It's how you spend that time. It's the moments you truly live. The ones where you're present, where you're connected to the people you love, where you're not lost in worries about the future or regrets about the past. Because at the end of the day, what really matters is not how much you achieved, how many things you owned, or what other people thought of you. It's the love you gave, the kindness you shared, the memories you created. That's what remains. And yet, so many people reach the later years of their lives and realize they spent too much time on the wrong things. They spent years being angry over things that no longer matter. They chased validation from people who were too busy chasing their own. They waited for the perfect moment to start living, only to realize there is no perfect moment. There is only now. So if there's one thing to take away from this, it's this. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for life to slow down before you enjoy it. Stop waiting for people to change before you forgive them. Stop waiting for the right moment to be happy. The only right moment is the one you're in. And if you're wondering where to start, start small. Call an old friend just to say hello. Step outside and feel the sun on your face. Say thank you for anything, for everything. Look in the mirror and remind yourself that you are still here, still breathing, still capable of finding joy. Because when you start doing these little things, something changes. Your days feel lighter. Your worries shrink. You begin to realize that happiness isn't some distant dream. It's right here, waiting for you to notice it. And the best part? It's never too late. Whether you're 30, 60, or 90, every single day is a chance to start again. To live with less regret and more gratitude. To let go of what doesn't matter and hold on to what does. To make sure that when you look back one day, you can say with confidence, I truly lived. So if there's one life lesson you take to heart today, let it be this. Life is happening now. Don't miss it.